if they're sitting still, and they are off here in the women's quad. Again, it is in lane 3, Gordon, and in lane 4, Dominican. So just 2 boats in this race going head-to-head.
Yeah, and it looks like the Gordon boat might have got out of there a little bit quicker than the Dominican boat, but there's plenty of time. You know, we've seen a lot of great sculling from Gordon, so I'm expecting to see a great push from Gordon. I haven't seen much of the Dominican scullers, so you know, let's see if they can find a little bit more speed.
Yeah, so Gordon here off to a really nice start. Again, the quads are, generally speaking, the second fastest competitive boat class outside of the 8. You know, 4 rowers, 2 oars each. These quads move pretty quickly, so we'll get to see some fast racing from these crews down the course.
Yeah, and right now the Gordon crew is definitely rowing higher than the Dominican crew, and they're also just getting more speed out of the boat with each stroke, rowing a little bit more, you know, technically together, missing a bit of water in 2-seat, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the boat's speed all that much.
Yeah, so the quads are also one of the more aesthetically pleasing boats to watch, as you just see 4 sets of oars entering at the same time. The quad's pretty fun boat to race, as well as you can get a lot of speed, as I mentioned, but you know, when you're in that boat, it can be pretty exhilarating.
Yeah, and you know, just a couple of things to note here. We can look and see, you know, what are some of the differences in what you're looking at. You can definitely see that Gordon is rowing higher. You can definitely see that they're at the catch. They're just sort of getting on it a little bit quicker, finding that suspension, pushing those legs down, firing them just a little bit faster. And those are the type of things that are making a difference here. Here we can take a look at the Dominican boat. You know, together, their bodies are moving together pretty well, but just not the same type of power being displayed.
Yeah, so a nice race here from Gordon. We've seen a lot of these unis throughout the day today in these sculling events. You know, just a really solid performance all around from the Gordon team. Coming down here to compete at the Vail Regatta on the Cooper River, thanks to our title sponsor, Thomas Jefferson University.
Yeah, and you know, once again, back to the rowing, you can see it looks like, you know, these ladies may have rowed together for a while. They're doing a great job of just rowing together, keeping the spacing, getting out at the catch, dropping those oars into the water, all of the things that need to be done to make a quad go fast.
Yeah, so the rowers in this Gordon, Jacobson, Cook, Dost, and Pierce, and in the Dominican boat we have Long, Salmon, O'Brien, and Perez. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to those rowers in these quads as they make their way down the race course.
Yeah, I mean, and we've spoken about some of the technical differences between rowing in a quad and rowing in a sweep boat, and one of them is the feather, and that's how the athletes take the oars and get them parallel to the water and then get them perpendicular again. In a sculling boat, you tend to use your thumbs and your fingers. So you'll see the callus along the thumbs and the finger. With a sweep boat, you have one oar that's basically doing the feathering, and that outside hand is just sort of in there as a hook almost for that oar to feather. So those are some of the differences in terms of the feathering skills required.
Yeah, another thing that you'll see when you're sculling as compared to sweeping, the sweep rowers, they row the one side, and you know, they try and reach out almost as far as they can to that side. So there's a little bit of torque that they put on their back, you know, to get out over that, and then they kind of come back center. The sculling stroke is a pretty straight up and down. You want to get your chest pretty straight up and out, and then as you roll into the catch, you want to make sure your hands rise up into that catch equally, which will help keep that boat set in those sculling boats.
Yeah, one thing that I've seen sometimes, I've seen really good athletes, sweep athletes, who will lean over a little bit more to get that extra compression outside the boat to really create that lever. But when you're in a sculling boat, you're right. You want to have that chest up, and you want to try to get that reach, but you can't sacrifice it too much because that'll put you in a weaker position at the catch.
Yeah, so again, back to this Gordon crew as they approach 750 left to go, looking really, really strong here. They're just going to go out there and row their own race and hopefully, beat their best time here at the Vail Finals and, take home a gold medal in this women's collegiate quad event.
Yeah, we've seen so many great races at this Jefferson Vail Regatta, and this is just one of the cases where it's really nice to see that there is a quad race. Hopefully, we can get some more subscription to it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more quads racing here in the future.
Yeah, it's a great event, and it's a really fun boat class to row. You see maybe some more focus on the doubles and the singles as it allows you to get your best rowers in potentially the best situations to succeed. But, I wouldn't have hated to see maybe one of those crews with two doubles out there combining and entering into this race and trying to test this Gordon crew.
Yeah. But once again, we'll have to get ourselves up to speed on the rules so that we know if doubling up is allowed. So
yeah, exactly.
It looks like they've removed the crocodile from the water.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
It's off to better places. But as the rain comes down gently, we can see this Gordon crew continue to press towards the finish line, looking good, just nice and relaxed. And they've actually just brought the rate up here. We'll see they're going into their sprint. So despite the fact that there are no competitors around them, they are continuing to execute their race plan in, as Joe mentioned, in hopes of maybe getting the best time that they've had this year.
Yeah, it's an important race, right? No matter what, if there's no competition around you, you still have to race against yourselves. And, you want to put up the best time, towards the end of the season. You want to get better each week. So every time you race, you want to put up the best time you possibly can. Obviously, conditions will change that for you, but with conditions such as they are today, you can put up a pretty fast time, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of an adjustment there to get out of the buoys and back into the center of the lane. We'll see if there might have been a bit of an over adjustment. But, at the end of the day, they've rode a great race, and I think that right now they're just pressing hard. You saw a quick glance over there from the bow seat to see how many more strokes left. Maybe tell the crew, all right, here we go, less than 10 strokes, to just really fire them up and get the best, as you said, the best time possible.
And there you go. Gordon's going to finish up here with some short strokes at the end. Just going to make sure, and they are, rowing all the way through the finish line there. Nice race from them. Dominican not too far behind here, so we'll see them shortly. They were only about 150 meters behind the Gordon crew, so they'll cross here shortly before we move on to the women's lightweight 4 event.
Yeah, and as I said, great effort put in by this Dominican crew. I love to see, as I said, this quad event.